All right. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. And welcome to another edition of From Crystal with Love. From Christal XO, right? Or From Crystal with Love XO. I am your host, Crystal. And today we have another edition of Dating Diaries. Hopefully, you guys are having a great week so far. We are halfway through. It's hump day, as you know. And so, like I always do every week, the first thing I'm going to do before we get started tonight is bring in my co host, Scorpio Moe. Let's see what the man is up to today. What's good, Scorpio Moe?
Yes. What's up, Crystal? What's up, everyone?
Oh man, today, Friday we were here, right?
That is true.
And we had to we started by acknowledging and showing respect for James Earl Jones, who passed away.
That we did.
And tonight, before we get into dating diaries, we have to stop for just a second, and we have to show respect. We have to show love. We have to show honor to the one and only Frankie Beverly,
Mm,
who
mm.
passed away and is no longer with us.
Yeah, I caught that one scrolling through. It hit me. I was like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, man. Just a few days away. And you know what's crazy? I saw Frankie Beverly at Essence.
Did you?
I did.
Never seen that man before.
I've seen him perform numerous times. And what I think, because we know that James Earl Jones, I believe that he is a part of the upcoming Mufasa um, series that Disney did and that is going to be out around Christmas. And
Hmm.
Frankie Beverly was still performing. So one of the things that I kind of take from these men is that they still lived an amazing life. They lived the life that they wanted. They lived a full life. And I think that's the most beautiful thing, like for him to be at Essence um in July and it's September.
Hmm.
Um that just shows that he was a beautiful, just lived a beautiful life. And so he did what he loved to do. He was blessed enough to be one of those people that got a chance to do what they love to do. So, I wish we could all do the electric slide to Before I Let Go together. But we could
One
just
day
do it.
I'm gonna learn. I can't dance, so I don't
You
know.
don't know that, you don't know the electric slide,
Can't dance. Period.
but the electric slide is not really a dance.
Crystal, I trust me. My side to side movement is not the great.
Well, I think you should do it in honor of
Well, I got to practice it because it ain't gonna cuss me out. Talking about I'm messing around. But
no, what's
shout out
yeah,
to
I
that
think I think I think you should learn it in honor of Frankie Beverly.
I should. And when you do what you love, I don't think there is a such thing as retirement. When you
That's
truly
true.
have a passion, you see these men and people. I encourage people to go out there and um, he's got a wild story. A lot of people don't even know.
Give us a little bit of the
Uh,
story.
I just know I know he had a him and him and Marvin Gaye had an issue.
Really?
Yeah. Marvin wasn't a fan of Mr. Beverly.
Really?
Yeah, and it had a lot to do with Marvin's wife at the time.
Oh my goodness. Why is it
she
always a woman?
she liked both of the brothers. It was I encourage people to like it's a deep story. And yeah, she was like in between the two and it got a little messy. But Marvin was not a friend of Mr. Beverly. No, he was not.
Wow. Wow. Well,
Shout
you know
out
what?
to that brother.
It's interesting how many men have women in common.
Um, yeah, I mean it's the entertainment setting, and these guys see each other's women, and they, I don't know if it's like a thing that it's a trophy thing where he's with her and she's pretty. If I could get her, I don't know what that is, but it's definitely a thing that you see, and it's in these small circles.
Yeah.
Why you see so many, you be like, well, how did she get with this, that, and the third. It's because of that. The backstage, the private parties, and I don't know.
There's, I guess, all's fair in R&B, in love, R&B, and war.
Yeah. Marvin Gaye, he was a troubled man. No pun intended. But he had a lot of demons, and he had definitely issues with the brother. God rest his soul. God rest both souls at this point.
Yeah. Well, again, we just wanted to start the night out by mentioning Frankie Beverly, because that's a huge loss to the community. I am looking forward to Beyonce doing something special, because that song,
And for the next year, going into the anniversary of this, we all have to. It's only right. Family reunion. It's only right.
Yeah, imagine making that big of an impact, though. I think every family gathering, every wedding, every family reunion, every graduation party, like, never, I don't think there's any gathering in the Black community where you don't play Before I Let Go.
And he was cool, fly dude. Like, he was a cool, fly dude, and he used to do his all white before Lisa Ray. He was the king. He was all white with his hat.
You know what? I think you should do a tribute to him being a fly dude, and some of the other fly guys. Definitely do it. You should do a tribute on your Let's Get Fly to Frankie Beverly.
What? That's a great. Thank you very much. I've never thought of that, but I think I will.
You should.
You know, Billy D gonna lead that now.
Well, he's gonna have to.
Billy D gonna lead that. I'm just gonna put that up.
Can I tell you? And I know we got to get into Dating Diaries, but can I tell you? First of all, everyone knows that I love. Can we say it together? Mr. Denzel Washington, right? But so I was crazy about Denzel from the time I first saw Mo Better Blues. I knew. But anyway, so my mom, would tell me about Billy D. Williams, because she was like, basically, she felt like Denzel didn't have anything on Billy D. And I didn't believe her. I was just like, no, because I don't know if you ladies in the chat have seen Mississippi Masala, but if you haven't, I will bring some photos and some video next time. But in any case, I saw Mississippi Masala, and I just was like, Mom, no, this, and she kept telling me about Billy D. Williams. Well, when I moved to Atlanta, working with a celebrity, I had the opportunity to go to DC to this event, star-studded event. It was in Robert Townsend's honor. I'm there, and I got to meet and hang out with Billy D. Williams. Now, at this point, because I was a little like, oh wow, that's cool because it's Billy D, but I wasn't thinking that I was going to understand what my mother said. Let me just say that I called Jacqueline Jordan immediately, and I told her I understood. That is still a good
even then, because I'm sure he was an older gentleman then.
Yeah, this was probably like in 2012.
Oh yeah.
And not only that, he was charming. He took my hand. He looked me in the eye. And, I'm not a woman that ever dated a lot of older men. I'm not really into the older gentlemen. But he took my hand and nice to meet you. And I'm telling you, I understood what Jacqueline Jordan meant. Now, that man right there, he was the definition of, woo.
What he told Diana Ross, success is nothing without someone. What?
It's just the way he talked, it's the way he moved, the way he looked at you. But now Tina Marie, I thought we were cool, but I don't understand what you're saying on my channel right now. Okay, ma'am. There's no one that's up to be a part of this channel who cannot understand. I'm gonna bring, you know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Tina Marie. I'm gonna bring some evidence and share with you over the upcoming weeks. In fact, Mo, now I asked you to do one on Billy D, but I'm going to ask you to invite me on and let me share.
You know what? That's what I want to get. I want to get the woman's perspective.
I would like to share.
Let's do
I mean,
that.
because we're gonna move on, but there's I don't know if you guys have seen Devil in a Blue Dress, but there's a scene where he's easy. Rollins is walking away from the camera. I'm gonna bring the evidence. Don't worry, I got you, girl. I got you. I got you. But tonight we're gonna get into dating diaries, and I am excited because tonight, in just a bit, we are going to welcome two women that are relationship coaches, and they're going to talk to us a little bit about. We're going to have female panel this week, like we did last week, the male panel, and talk about the issues the mistakes that men make when they are dating online. Now, before we get into that, they're going to join us around 8:30 tonight. But before we get into that, I want to talk about what happened last week. I want us to talk about the feedback that we got from the men. We got a lot of feedback. Again, want to say thank you to Greg, Danaka, and Prince.
Mm-hmm.
3 very different guys,
Mm-hmm.
all with very different opinions and outlooks and perspectives. But let me ask you, let's kind of break down what happened. So if you guys weren't here last week we read some of the profiles from women, and we asked the men what they thought of those profiles.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, um it seemed like the men weren't really fans of most of the profiles. In fact, I don't think very many profiles, according to the guys last week, would have gotten a response. But I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna turn it to Mo. I think that what last week proved to me is that men are not interested in what you have to say. They are really only interested in what you look like. So I feel like everything that the guy said, oh no, she called herself hardworking. I think if the woman in the picture that said that said she was hardworking looked beautiful, I think there would have been no problem with the term hardworking. I think that what we learned is that men don't like words, they like pictures. That's what I got from last week. What about you?
That's fair. That's fair. Um, First of all, I think most of those fellas was um they were petty to me. Even the stuff I was saying, I was like, come on, y'all, this is a tough crowd. Like, come on, man. The hard working thing was put it over the top for me.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, I saw somebody who was like, Mo says he only looks at the pictures. You got to say the whole. I said I start. Let's be clear. I start, and then I go through the rest. And then if it's not for me, if it's saying something that I know is going to be a conflict of interest, or whatever the case may be, I'm not. But yes, the photo grabs my attention first. I call BS on a couple of the brothers that said they don't look at the profile first. They don't look at the profile picture. They go to the profile. And I call BS on that because in order for you to see what they were actually writing, you had to scroll down. So you had to see the photo. So I call BS on that part. But I do believe that men do. And then some things that would not necessarily would like to see or agree with on their profile, depending on how it should look, we're willing to bend a little. And the more mature and the more serious you are, the less you would bend. The less serious you are, you'll probably bend a little bit more. You know what I mean? So I think you're right on that. I think you're absolutely right. But I do think if you're going on enough dates with enough pretty women that you clash with, you'll start to understand that pretty is not everything. I mean, it gets you to the door. It don't really get you in.
Well, but I mean, we need to get to the door. So I mean, that's can I be honest?
Please.
That's what bothers me about that conversation. So guys are like, well, pretty is not everything. But it kind of is, because if you don't even get an option unless you're considered pretty, then it doesn't matter. It's like you got to be pretty and have more. But what about the women? Let me just ask you an honest question.
Mm-hmm.
What about the women whose profile picture does not is not the bad chick? Like what is that woman supposed to do?
Glad you asked that. Now the pretty thing is a range. Like you might be pretty enough for me. It's a wide scope. It's not just whatever the 10 thing is or whatever that is. It's not just that. You know, it's like, yo, she's pretty. And then it pretty goes from here to there. But I think in that case, we get charged for thinking it's the perfect 10, and that's not what we're saying. Pretty can range. And I think, I know some people get caught up in that and they don't think that that's true. So that's it. It's a range of pretty. And yes, she could be simple dressed, not showing anything, and that's pretty. And she could.
So really, it's just what the guy finds himself attracted to.
And don't be fooled by the guys on the panel. Like a lot of stuff they're critiquing, just physically.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them how many times they really got the thing you see what I'm saying? Like, because all you gotta do is pull back the curtain and see what's at home, or see what they're dating. And
if those people are, I don't want to. I do know that out of the two, well, two of the guys were single. One of the guys was in a relationship. What's up, Fred? But I don't know. I can say, knowing a couple of them, a lot of the girls that they have dated have been very attractive. So I would say that. Andrea asked a good question. She says, I wonder if part of the issue is that those men are not intentionally looking for love and or to settle down at the moment. Do you think that men are pickier when they're not serious about settling down?
No, I think it's the other way around.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think it's the other way around. If they're not oh, say that. I just want to make sure I answer that right. Say that again.
Do you think that men weren't serious about settling down, and that's why they were being more picky?
No, I think it's the other way around. It's the opposite. If he's not trying to settle down, she's just whatever. But he's not that picky.
Okay. I get that. And I do think that because those guys, all the guys that joined us were of a particular age, right? So everybody was over, like, I would say 45.
Right.
So if you're over 45, usually those guys are more. Now there are some 45, 50-year-olds that are just playing, and that is, we're not talking about those people. We're just not gonna. I don't have the time to do that. But no.
We're talking about dating intentionally, looking older, been there, done that. What are we looking for? And you're out here navigating through this world, and I'm assuming that's why you're on the site in the first place.
PRM said they did not look to be fit. I think they were all different sizes. So and I'm not, they were all different sizes.
Like she means fit the bill or fit in shape? Because you said sizes. So
I think she means fit in shape, but Cachet, I can neither confirm nor deny.
What happened?
Cachet says, and when one of them was talking in my head, I was playing Crystal's little disco song. But yeah, I do think that's interesting. I do think that men are very particular. But let me ask you another straightforward question. I can't wait till the ladies jump on with us here in a few minutes. But before our ladies get on, we need you guys to get the likes up. We're going to have another good conversation. You guys know the women, these women. T. Marie is a relationship and dating coach. And then April is also a relationship and dating coach. So it's going to be a good conversation tonight. So we want to welcome them in with the
I send you a picture?
Huh?
Oh, I have a friend of mine that's extremely pretty, and she's on the dating site, and she was like, this guy had the nerve because she knew about the topic. Because can I see a picture of the gentleman?
Please, please.
Yeah, and she was like, what is it going on? She asked me to look at her profile that a guy like this would even think that he had a chance. And I was like, did you get it?
I haven't got it yet.
It's about
Okay, just came in. Hold on.
And can I send you a picture of her so you can understand the contrast?
I mean, I don't even really need it, but yeah, let's do it. Wow.
Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? It's
Wow.
like,
But that's what I want to ask. That's what I want to. No, not April Mason. Hey, you 7 her 3. This is another April. I believe her last name is Carter. I'm waiting for her picture to come in before I respond because I want to talk about it. I want to talk about this because
and I was like, she was like, what makes him think? And I was like, I don't know.
Let me tell you something. I have this. Oh gosh. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. No, yeah, no, let's talk about it. And we're going to ask you to answer on behalf of the guys, right?
Right.
So why do you think? Because I don't know. I've been confused about this for years. Sometimes I would even question myself, like, what am I doing that's making these guys think that we are equally yoked? You know, like if he thinks I'm equally yoked with him, what is it? What I've even been out, and I won't even say myself because, you know, somebody may see you and he may be like, you know what? I'm a 4. She's a 4 too. Okay, cool. All right, sir. But I've been out with celebrities that I have worked with and represented, right? And Fred, can you answer this question, please? I need you to answer it because I need to understand why men, I've seen, and men have come up and said, I need you to hook me up with your girl. And I'm like, I don't think that are you sure? Because now I understand certain men, because if they have a lot of money, a lot of times they feel like, and women have proved them right, that they can get a certain woman if they have a certain amount of money, even if they don't look like they would be, you know,
right.
Equally yoked, but their money could do that. They could stand on their money, or, you know, use their money to slim them down or whatever. But there are a lot of men that don't have a lot of money and they still shoot for women that they have to know are out of their range.
Well, when they're coming to you, what they're really doing is hoping you put in a good word and you help sell him.
But I don't know, like, these are strangers sometimes.
And even still, but a lot of times it's just like out in the public, a guy going into a function where there's a lot of people, and it's just a numbers game. Like, I'm pretty sure with this guy, he just tapped like. That was it. And he just scrolling through like anything he thought was attractive. Like, don't take it like he just swiping and type and liking, swiping and liking.
Well, I would want to believe you, but I've gotten messages from people that would be equivalent to that.
Well, on this particular site, you cannot message nobody until they like you back.
Well, that's why I like that site. But Andrea has a point that I wanted us to talk about really quickly. She says, in career, men will apply for the job if they think they have 40 to 60% of the qualifications and figure out the rest. Women tend to want to be fully qualified. Maybe the same is true in the dating world. I think that's a really good point.
I like
that. It's a really good point, because I've learned that, and also women take rejection a lot harder than men do.
Mm-hmm.
So if a man shoots his shot, and I don't want to show the picture because I don't want to shame the guy. And trust me, you guys would be disgusted. I don't want to do that. But but I don't think that men take it as seriously or as personally if they get rejected, where a woman would be really, really.
A woman, if they did it enough, they wouldn't care neither. But they don't do it enough, so it's like always hitting the reset button and getting rehurt. But the men don't like rejection. It's just that we've done it enough times. It's just part of the process.
Let me say something, sir. this person that you just sent me a picture of, he don't give a damn, because I promise you, he gets rejected all the time. That is unbelievable. He obviously doesn't care. He's chilling.
Yeah, and then the guy, some women, you might catch the woman on a situation where she's like, I'm tired of these type of guys. I'm gonna try something different. You shooting your, you know what I'm saying? Luck. You just never know. You might catch her. She's vulnerable. She's tired. You feel like you can have a conversation and swear, whether it's money, your fun, whatever the situation is. You catch a woman. You know what? I just want to try something different. Maybe I'm doing you never know.
Yeah, this is wild. But I do think that, I mean, one of the things that I think that men should do is it just, like, one of the things that I've seen happen on that Kendra G does that I think is smart. She'll ask a person, have you ever dated someone like that?
We
And
had that conversation.
yeah, like if you've never dated a person like the one you're going after, maybe there's an issue with that. Just asking questions. Just asking questions. All right. One of our guests is in. I'm going to go ahead and bring her up again. Let's make sure we get the likes up, you guys. So we're talking about tonight, we are talking about the mistakes that men make. We're talking about the men. Last week we gave women a really hard time. The panel was extremely hard to the women. So I felt like it was only fair for us to bring the ladies on tonight so that they are able to share what men do wrong when they are dating. Again, we have two experts. I had the opportunity to meet April Carter, who is the relationship lady on Instagram. I met her in Houston at a women's expo, and T. Marie is one of my girls. She's here in Atlanta. She is also a dating coach. So I asked both of these ladies to join us tonight so that we could talk about dating. Hi, T. Marie. Hey, April.
Hey.
Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies.
Hey, Scorpio.
Hello, ladies. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, take it easy on. Hey.
No.
I don't know. You did. I heard you was doing the ladies wrong. So
they was in.
Yeah, I was listening.
I don't know
the panel last week was hard on the guys, and so on the women, and so I want to talk about tonight, because both of you guys, talk about relationships. Probably got, I know, T. Marie, dating out there, doing your thing, and I want to talk about what men do wrong on dating sites. What are the issues that you see men having when it comes to relationships? What are some of the biggest, if you could say the top 3 mistakes that you see men making on dating sites? T. Marie, what would those be?
Can we start with the photos? I'm sorry, because that's how we do guys. So can we start photo and then bio? Is that cool, Christal?
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't say photo and bio, right?
No. We're saying, give me the top 3 in the photo.
What are the problems that you see with the pictures? Because what we did is we talked about what women do with their pictures, like the turn to the back, or maybe your picture has when you were like maybe 50 pounds lighter, or
maybe you had trash on the floor and you took a picture with it.
So what do men do wrong with their pictures from you guys' perspective? We'll start with T. Marie.
First thing I see men do wrong is they take a picture with another man, a group of friends. Like they'll have that picture and it'll be them. You don't know which one is that they are, but they're with a group of friends.
In the profile?
Yes, I've seen that in their profile, or they try to crop it out, but they're in a group, they're with people.
Men do that too? I didn't know men
do that.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah, that's terrible. The other is older pictures. They put pictures that they had when they were 10, 15, 20 pounds lighter, or when they actually had hair and now they have a receding hairline. So they misrepresent who they actually are altogether in hopes that when you meet them that you'll get over that part, right? And hope that their personality is enough. So
Okay.
definitely misrepresentation of who they are, older pictures. And
Okay.
I would say the third one would probably be not smiling, like when they're not, just feeling like they got to come off hard and not giving a very friendly presence. I think men underestimate smiling and what it looks like when they smile, and how much more attractive and appealing they are when they're actually smiling on their profile pictures.
I like those. April.
I like that. I like, okay.
Yeah, those was good. Thank you for having me. All right, so let's jump on into it. Everything that you said, T. Marie, I totally agree with, especially those group shots. Like, come on, guys, okay?
That's
You're not
crazy.
trying to impress other. Yeah, like you're trying to get a girl, not a guy, or
Right.
are you? So I don't know, but so the top on my list, the first one is low quality or poor and unclear photos. Like blurry photos and poorly lit images, it can be a major turnoff. So I want to make sure that, guys, when you are posting your pics, I mean, I know you're not a woman, you're not vain, right? But you want to definitely make sure that you are doing your face and your features justice. We want to be able to see you. The next thing that I would add on to that is inappropriate or shirtless photos.
That's a good one.
Come on, y'all. Come on. So we want to be respectful of everybody that's on the app. No, everybody is not here for a hookup. We want to make sure that the person that we are picking is somebody that is going to be a serious suitor. Now, if you are serious and it's just something that you threw up there, shame on you. We want to make sure that you are putting more effort into your actual dating profile. And then the third thing that I would say when it comes to your dating photos, guys, make sure that your dating photos are active. So have some action photos, right? So not necessarily with the guys or with the group. I just want to make sure that we see you in your everyday element. So we don't want to see you with your suit and tie on the same picture that you use for LinkedIn. That's cool. That's great. But we want to see you having fun. We want to see you, like doing whatever you do on the weekends. We want to see you out hanging out with some of your actual, real life friends that are not in the photos. Okay. So I would say those three things are the best type of advice that I can give for the poor profile photos.
I like that. Christal, what do you got to say? I know
I got three. I got three too. And I appreciate April for saying the shirt off, also the wife beater. Now, I appreciate a man with a nice set of shoulders and arms. However, I don't need to see that. I can see it through the shirt. Trust me. I know what it is. So I don't like that. I also don't like bathroom shots. And then I don't like if all your pictures have a hat on. Okay. I need you to be honest. Like, I just like for me, I know some men have an issue when women wear weave or whatever. So when I was dating, I like to make sure that I had a picture with my natural hair so they would see. I don't want to surprise nobody. Like, whoa. And I think ladies probably can attest the hats. A man can look totally different with a hat than without. Yes. And I'm not going to be, we cannot, I can't get to know you with your hat on all the time. So we got to have some pictures without the hats. And we also cannot have pictures in the bathroom, sir.
I'm gonna add one to the fellas. That was your three, or you got one more?
No, that was my three. I
want to add one for the fellas too. This right here with the money shot showing the money, dog. That ain't it. That ain't it. And showing like too much material. Like if you buy your car, that's one thing. But if you're kneeling down in the jail post next to your car, you're doing stuff like that, it comes off a little corny. So just be mindful of that. All right.
But even being by your car comes off a little corny, or it comes off a little like I'm trying to sell you on what I have instead of who I am. When you're by your car, you're by anything that has anything materialistic, it's like you're depending on that thing to sell you. So that's one of the things I would tell men. Don't do that, especially if you're going to be after the fact talking about women want you for your money.
That's true. And I also want to add, not so many selfies, guys. Like, you may not have anybody there to take the photo for you, but just go ahead and invest in like a nice little tripod or something, because too many selfies is definitely a turn off for women. And by too many, I mean more than 2 or 3. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I also don't want us to lie about our height. And I've mentioned that I've been catfished quite a bit. Just put your height on there. We know what it is. your real height. If you're 5'7", just put 5'7", because you're gonna attract a woman that appreciates a 5'7" guy. If not, you're gonna attract a woman that doesn't like 5'7", and when you show up, she's gonna be upset. So just go with honesty on the profile. Just like they say women don't, but they don't do it either. So just be honest about, especially the height, because weight is not as big of a deal for men, but it definitely is the height. Men are definitely lying about the height. So I want us to talk about the profile stuff. I've got to take a quick little break. I'm gonna let Mo kind of walk us through the profile issues, and I will be right back.
Okay. So what we did last week was we kind of read, I don't know if Christal has any now, but she was reading some of the profiles, and we were going through them, and it was 3 other brothers there, and it was a little sticky. I'm not going. I even thought it got petty. I was like, it's not that serious. On certain things, we kind of talked about the women in their profiles that I don't like this, don't do this, don't come off like this. It just screamed negative energy off the screen. All your don't likes, and it just became like negative. It wasn't pleasant, it wasn't welcoming, that kind of thing. So I'm real curious to see, because I don't know what the brothers put on theirs. I have no clue, but I'm interested in knowing. Because something tells me the corny factor jumps in there at some point. You know what I mean? But I'm just curious to know what's on the men's and how do you guys view that?
Sure, I'll go ahead and start. Please. So for instance, one of the pet peeves that I hear a lot from women regarding profiles is not reading the profile through, right? So you type something and then you just send it, you post it, no effort into it, no real details about who you are as a person. It's more to, just what you have, what you've done, your accomplishments. And yeah, that's cool, that's great, but that usually only works if you're trying to pick up somebody who is interested in you for your money or materialistic things. 9 times out of 10, the people that are on the apps, the women that are on the apps, they want to get to know you because they're looking for something real and meaningful.
So what would you recommend? Because even as a man, I would be kind of like to sit there and talk about, I could talk about possibly what I like, but to do something long, drawn out, men are, we're quick at texting. We don't want to do a whole paragraph in the story. So what would you recommend if that was the case?
I would recommend 3 sentences, 4 sentences max, something short and sweet, a little bit about who you are, what you like, similar to what the women's profiles are and what you're looking for moving forward, right? Without putting in all of those negative innuendos, similar to what you spoke about with the women, right? So my name is John. I live in so-and-so. I'm active in whatever. And I'm looking to have fun and meet somebody new that we can actually grow together with. Something short, sweet, and to the point. Maybe even if you relocated to a new town, you'll put that in there as well. Recently relocated here from XYZ, looking to make new friends. Okay. Something that makes women want to actually click on it and get to know you a little bit more. So it's kind of like, how like when you're online and you see these clickbaits, it's kind of like giving them a little bit more than a clickbait. You want them to actually click on the profile as opposed to just keep scrolling.
I think that's when it becomes dangerous territory for men. Because now it's like, okay, because men know what to say, or most of them think they know what to say to real men. So we're using buzzwords at that point, whether it's true or not. So I think that's where it becomes dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I like to spoil my women. And they might not, but they know what women want to hear. That's why obviously a lot of men lie. So that's where it becomes a little sticky when it gets to that part, though.
It can become a little sticky, but here's the beauty: women know when you're lying. Women know.
Right.
We can read between the lines, so we have that gift. So of course, stay away from those buzzwords or any, trending topics and things like that. You want to be authentic, but you want to give, capture their curiosity within that first 2 to 3 seconds of reading.
Is it wise, or would you recommend someone put in their love language in there?
Me personally, I wouldn't recommend it. What do you
That's
think,
a little
Marie?
bit more after the fact, and you start the conversation
Okay.
because now you're giving them too many things to think about and too much to consider. Like in the beginning, we're talking about trying to catch somebody's attention that you're interested in. So too much information can be overwhelming, and it could be like, oh, they feel like you're wanting too much too quick. You're not allowing me to get to know you. So again, like April said, those 2 or 3 sentences is great, and the honesty into it. You don't have to do a whole lot of lying, and please be honest about if you're looking for something casual, if you're looking for something more serious, or if you're just looking for friends. Okay, because what you're doing is you're narrowing in the actual people that you're looking for, and weeding out the people who are not looking for relationships or who are looking for relationships. So I think we need to be more honest,
But
about,
see,
hey, I'm here for just a casual connection.
it
Let's hook
becomes
up, let's
sticky
go out for a
again.
drink. Yeah. Like
It becomes sticky again because just in the dating world, I'm a single man, so I'm out here and I'm seeing this. Like if you say you're looking for something, for some women I'm looking for something serious, they can come across thirsty, or sometimes they be like, well, it should all start casual in the beginning. So we don't know. We're listening to information, but we don't. I guess what you're saying is right. Whatever we put out there that's what we're going to draw in. But it she might go, I want something serious, but I think it should start casual. So guys in between, what would you recommend for that?
Well, it should always start casual. It should always start casual. So expressing too much desperation for a relationship or putting your love language out there is coming off, as T. Marie said, as you're rushing into things, and that is very off-putting. Think about it on the sense of, as a man, right? When you're reading somebody's profile and they're like, I'm looking to be married and I'm ready to, get off this dating roller coaster. You're like, wait a minute, what's your name? You know what I mean?
Right. No, 1000%. I assume, I would think the whole point of being on the site is to get off the site, right?
Well,
to some degree,
right? Because some people are looking for, as T. Marie said, friendship. Some people are looking for companionship, not necessarily a relationship. Mm-hmm. And that's where sometimes the lines are blurred, but you won't know that until you actually get a chance to actually speak with them in a real one-on-one conversation type of setting. Definitely.
That's fair. So
and I think people need to understand that dating sites are just that, dating. Even if you're looking for something casual, understand you're going in to get to know someone. Even if you see, let's say, I'm looking for marriage, that doesn't mean they want to marry you. Okay. It doesn't mean that you're already the one. It just means they already know what they're looking for, and they're taking this site as an opportunity to get to know someone, to see if this person meets the qualifications of what they're looking for. These are dating sites. So when you get on there, be prepared to date, which means get to know someone and see if they fit what you're looking for. Dating is an activity. It is not a status. Okay. And people get that confused, like, oh, we're dating. That's not a status, ma'am. That's an activity, sir. We are going out and getting to know each other. So understanding what the dating sites actually are for before you get on there really helps you to guide yourself and not jumping the gun once you meet somebody that you're interested in. Because people will meet somebody and jump right off because they had one good date or one good conversation and don't leave themselves open to meet other people.
You're right. Or they've been single for a long time and they just. So let me ask you this: is too much information, could that be a problem? Because what I often find, like, it seems that women like a little mystery, right? They don't want to know everything, and let's face it, I found them to be quite nosy. So if there's mystery, they always want to find out the next thing. So if you don't tell them too much and kind of let them see, they're always looking forward to seeing what the next thing is, especially if you're someone that's probably spontaneous or unpredictable. That's what I've seen in the dating world. Can you guys expand on that and kind of tell me what you think?
Yeah, definitely. So I would say no. I was thinking
it. I was just like, no.
I'm just telling you from my,
Yeah, I would say no, right? First and foremost, we like honesty, right? We get excited when people are honest.
Right.
Yes.
One of the biggest complaints is inconsistency.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So that means that your words have to match your actions all the way through, right? So don't give us a little bit of nuggets here and then, breadcrumb us throughout the way, right? We
Okay.
just want to make sure that what you're saying is real and authentic, because as you just mentioned, Scorpio, we will do some investigating, but that's only if we like you, only if your words don't match and don't align, right? So we're not just investigating everybody on the site. We want to know if what this guy is saying is accurate and true. So just give us the information without providing us details, right? So I want to make sure that when we're on these online dating apps and these websites, that we are still dating safely.
Okay.
We still need to be safe, whether we're men or women. The internet is dangerous. So just providing more than a little bit of information can have somebody, looking up your address, can have somebody, even the pictures that you post online, guys. Make sure your street address is not in the picture. Make sure your numbers are not listed in your profile pics.
That's
so
great.
More importantly, I just want to make sure that we are dating safely. And then we're also dating with a strategy. As T. Marie said, the idea is to actually date and have fun. It's an activity, right? Your idea is to date and have fun. So I want to make sure that we are dating, we are having fun, but we're also doing it with a core plan in mind. What is the end result? What is the next step? What is the strategy? Once I meet 5 people, am I getting off the app?
Right.
Am I going to handle these? What is your strategy? And that's something that myself or T. Marie can help you guys with.
So T. Marie, that's a great point. So what would be, the strategy go according to who the man is, his character, what it's about, or does he cater it to the specific woman after reading her profile? How does that work?
The strategy starts with you first. The strategy starts with knowing what you are looking for. And It's kind of like, I tell people, it's kind of like losing weight. If you know you need to lose 10 pounds, that's the end result. You also have to decide, what does it take to get to those 10 pounds, right? And so those are your strategies. So if you know, okay, I know I'm looking to meet someone serious. And I know that if I'm looking for someone serious, really trying to entertain more than 3 people at a time does not indicate that I'm looking for something serious. So now my strategy is, I know I'm looking for something serious. Okay, I'm giving myself 3 people that I can meet and go out to date. I do believe in the variety of dating. Please date more than one person, okay? And I know some people don't agree with that, but the reason why I say that is because you need to know what you see in these individuals. It's like if you, let's say you take on 2 pair of jeans, right? And both of the jeans fit, right? But one fits your body better than the other. Yes, both the jeans fit, but there's always going to be something that actually caters to you, and there's going to be something that's actually fit better for you. And then you won't start to accept things that you don't like if you're just dating one person. If you're just dating one person, you'll begin to accept those things that you don't like, because that's all the choice you have. But if you're dating a couple people, you can see the difference in these people, right? And you can see that this one fits better than this one. So I don't believe in just dating one person at a time, but I do believe in narrowing it down to a person that you actually like.
Here's the problem with that. Damn it. Here's the problem with that. I think with women, when they say that, it's a lot easier to do, because 9 times out of 10, you're not fitting the bill for that. You know what the average date costs me? I can't be just dating women all willy-nilly and trying to figure out, it's $150, $200 a pop for the average date. And
why are you dating at that price point though? That's another thing men need to stop feeling like they have to date at this $200, $150 price point. Dating is way more than going to dinner and paying for expensive dinners and doing all these other things. There are ways to date and get to know a person. If a woman only wants to get to know you, if you're spending that type of money on her, then she's really not trying to get to know you, right? Because if a person actually wants to know you, it's not the money that you spend, it's the activity that you plan and the time that you put in. So if anybody... I'm a coffee date person. I know people be like, what's a coffee date? I don't believe it. I do believe in coffee dates, because I believe if I'm actually trying to get to know you, that meeting up on a coffee date or a drinking date and having a conversation allows me to do just that. If a person requires you to spend all this money or do this certain thing, it's not about getting to know you. It's about them, you're proving to them that you can do certain things that they, that they want from you. It's not just you.
Fellas,
Right.
meet
It's
and
not
greet
just you.
first.
And then, meet and greet, those coffee dates. I love coffee dates. I know
Do that
people
one first.
are saying, no, coffee dates, that's too cheap. Listen, those are not the ladies that you want to date. Then if you're dating with intent and you're dating seriously, then a coffee date would be fine. Me personally, I don't want to waste my time 2 and 3 hours with you if I'm not even into you like that. I want to, meet you first.
If you ain't cooked that day, you didn't.
No, well, because nowadays we are the women with money, so we're not worried about a meal.
Come on,
we can purchase our own meal. We can purchase your meal as well, right? But that's not what's important to us. It's the fact of the matter that, and I don't want to digress, but some people have only been trying to slide us, right? Some people have only been trying to come to the house. So this is where this, bravado from women have come from, because we're tired of being used and slid to the house. But if you're not interested in a coffee date, the museum is a great date. Very low cost.
Absolutely.
Easy, free to walk around. Some days are free. Some days are maybe $5 or $10, right? You guys can meet there, meet in the middle. There's also the botanical gardens. That's free. You have to think outside the box, gentlemen and ladies, right? Ladies, if he asks you where you want to go, he doesn't know you from Adam. Don't get offended. Maybe give him a couple of suggestions where you guys can actually do something fun that you like and that he likes, and let him take the planning, but you just kind of meet him halfway.
Absolutely.
Christal recommended a date for me, activity. I think this is a year ago. It was a year ago when I first started to do the show with her, and it was an ice cream date. Okay. And it's an ice cream specialty shop. It was real cool. The experience of it was cool, but I'm not sure if she really liked the ice cream date. But I believe it. You're absolutely right. I believe in the meet and greet. I believe in just initially, because a lot of times I have meet and greets that turn into actual dates. Like, but what are you doing after this? And then I wind up spending that money anyway, and I didn't care because I felt somewhat of a vibe or a connection. But when it's just because you can get fooled by the ambiance, right? You go to this place with the big bells and whistles and all this stuff, and you think you might like the person or it's connection with you and the person, but really you just like where they took you. And I want the fellas to be, when you go out there and you spend the money like that, the $300 or whatever, they're falling in love, or they're starting to like your hand, not your heart. And I think just want y'all to be real careful, because the genuine ones, if she likes your company 9 times out of 10, it doesn't matter what you do. She's here with you. So I just wanted to give that out to the fellas, but you made an excellent point.
That's great advice. Definitely.
Yeah. And there's such thing as food diggers, y'all. I'm telling you. Oh, I am a reformed food digger. I'm just being honest. There's certain people who will go out with you just to eat. So don't always offer that platform from the beginning. Go ask them about going to do different things. You do not have to spend $200 on your first date, and I would advise men not to do.
Don't do the drinks. Christal told me, well, just say we're just going out for drinks. I said that I made the date at 9 o'clock because I'm assuming she's already ate by 9. No. She asked to see a menu. It brought me back up. I'm like, damn it, I'm right back to where I started. I'm just telling you what's out there, fellas. Just be very, very careful. But if you dig her and you like her, 9 times out of 10, we roll the dice anyway, and we charge it to the game. But I got another thing. So we're here at the profile, right?
Right.
And Christal already mentioned height, because a lot of them have a height thing on there, and it says height, name, so on and so forth. How important is it for a guy to put what he does for a living on his profile? Because that's where it starts to begin a little sticky. And I say that because even on the site, we talked about it, and I guess it's going around social media. Like, we don't mind. I want to be real clear with women. We don't mind you asking us what we do. We just don't want it in the first 3 or 4 sentences upon meeting you. that's when it starts to feel a little funny. Let's talk for a minute, where you from. And I'm saying in that same setting and meeting you, we don't mind that coming up. We just don't want it in the beginning, because it just feels funny to me. So is that fair to say, should a guy, or let me ask you, should a guy in his profile put what he does, or he shouldn't?
In my opinion, he should not put what he does, but he should mention that, let's say, casually, he's been with this company for 9 years or 5 years or something like that, to let
What
the
about
woman
gainfully
know.
employed?
Yeah, gainfully employed, it's kind of like, it sounds like, but I'm employed, or I've been at my job, or I'm in the, something like that for 9 years, without giving too much information. Because as you said, Scorpio, some women just want to go out for the food or just whatever, right? So we want to make sure that these women are dating with the intent of actual relationships, because our men have been getting played too, right? So it's not just the women. I know we hear about the women getting played a lot, but the men have been getting played and done dirty as well. So I want to make sure that the men are being looked out for also, because we want to keep those people away with the bad intentions, because there are a lot of good dudes that are with the wrong type of woman and vice versa. So we can match those people up equally. I mean, it's a win-win for everybody.
And you,
Absolutely.
Valentina, what do you say about that? Because I want to say this. I personally think the reason why they asked that up front is because they want to determine how much respect to give you.
I don't know about that part. What I do know, I'm sure they want to know if you're working, because nobody wants to be with anybody who's not working, and who's not being not necessarily making a whole bunch of money, but we're not about at a certain age of potential. Okay. I'm not the person to tell you to fall in love with potential. And that really means like no action. You have all these ideas, but there's no action moving, and you're not moving in that direction.
Are you working on
I do believe you should say that you're employed, because that's important, especially, that's important. It's not fair for men to feel like that women shouldn't want to know what they're doing and how they're taking care of themselves, right? Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. You should definitely say that you're employed. Saying gainfully employed, again, that's you're triggering that with money. You're telling a person that it sounds like you have this money. So you're actually pulling a type of woman when you start saying that you're gainfully employed.
That's right? What that sounds like?
Yes.
It does, because pretty much everybody on the app should be gainfully employed.
I would have took it like they've been on their job for a long time. I wouldn't even have thought that, but that's interesting. I'm just trying to get a woman's perspective. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so with that, you don't have to necessarily say what you do, but you can say what industry you work in. I work in housing. I work in engineering, something. If you want to give a description of who you are, and if that, but I don't think you have to lay out your whole job resume on your profile.
Fellas, don't even do that. Don't do that. You could say sanitation, and she might think you the guy at the back of the truck telling the other guy to back it up and dump it, and you might actually own it or be the supervisor.
There's a way to say that, though. You can say I work in government. Like, we need to remember what words to use.
Trying to trick the people, Tina.
It's not tricking.
You said work in government.
That is government.
And that's a good job.
That's a good job, because I would date a person that works in sanitation because of the benefits. They make good money, and it is government. They working for the city. They're working in government. And sometimes if you say I work in sanitation,
I think that's bait.
It's not
bait.
It's not bait. So are you saying that if you say you work in sanitation, that I'm misleading you? Do you feel like I'm misleading you?
No, I think that's clear and we can figure it out. But when I say government, I could mean you're a government official. It's a whole list of stuff that could be listed under. That's tricky.
And that's why it's good to use.
Are you serious?
There you go.
Next conversation.
Okay, I'm learning. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. So we're going down the profile. We're doing height. We're doing occupation. Now it's like, what is it? Like about me, right? Because we got through the photos and it's about me. So I know women have a hard time with God. I guess this is for that, like speaking about yourself, right?
Right.
Oh, well, I do this and I do that. Or would it be like free time stuff, or just like, because I'm sure you don't want work, right? You see a guy that's doing work. So what do you recommend that a guy does? Is it this free time stuff, or maybe he doesn't have free time? What do you recommend on the about me portion of a man's profile?
I recommend your passions. So what are you passionate about? What brings you excitement? What do you love to do? I would stay away from, things like your children, because most people love their children, right? And that's bringing up your kids on a dating profile. We want to kind of stay away from that. So let's talk about your passions. Maybe you are refurbishing a car or something like that. Maybe you are, getting ready to take a trip. So just something like that. Maybe you have a lot of things going on. Some of the things I would look out for, though, is common phrases like I love to travel, or looking for my partner in crime, or I'm a laid back kind of guy, or I don't stand out, just things like that. Show up with your qualities, lead with your qualities when you're doing those profiles or experiences. And that'll make it more engaging, because it's going to provoke some type of conversation from the person who wants to get to know you a little bit more.
Okay. And you, Tina?
No, but there's definitely talk about your passions, even if you like. And some people don't like to talk about that they exercise, right? I think that's something if you like to do, because they do. Someone that may like to exercise, yeah, they might. But for me, if you put, you're allowing me to see if there's something that those things that you're doing, if that's something that I like or I'm actually interested in, right? Mm-hmm. So putting your passions down is definitely a must. Where you like to go, if you like water, if you like, if you're an outdoors person, all of those things, because you're talking about things that you enjoy and those things that you can actually share with the person that you're actually getting to know.
Okay, cool. So we were kind of hard on the ladies about, like, because I think it was one or two profiles, like I was saying earlier, where it was like, we don't like, I don't like this, I don't like that. What about how women view it? If men have two or more, is that a turn off, or you're like, you know what, he's let me know, so I'm cool with that? Like, women might be cool with it. I know men aren't, but women might be cool with it. So is that an issue with too many stuff that I don't like a woman that does this or dresses like this? And is that a negative thing in a woman's eyes?
Absolutely. We're going to swipe left on that. Definitely. Because I can only imagine what'll happen when you start talking to him in real life.
Exactly. You are putting off negative energy from the beginning. Anything that starts with "I don't" is the thing that it's a negative word. Don't is always something negative. You always open the doors with, this is what I like. I want to do this and I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Telling me what you don't like doesn't open the door to tell me what you do like. So be more specific on that end, talking about what you do like. Because if you start talking about, I don't, to us already, that sounds girly. It sounds like I don't want to say, but it's, it sounds very feminine energy like, and that's definitely a turn off.
Interesting. Okay, so we want dudes now.
And controlling too.
Yeah.
But women, we hear controlling.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yes.
I wouldn't even thought that even on the woman's part of it. I just tell you're fed up, you're angry, or you've run into disappointments. Like, I've seen women, this is true, in this, I'm celibate. I just want you to know that, and when I see that, I mean, I got my thoughts on that. But
for me, when I see that, or I hear about, negative profiles and things like that start with that, to me, it's a person that is angry. They're frustrated with dating. They don't really want to be on the app, but they're looking for some type of companionship. So you're already mad at the fact that you actually have to be on this app for whatever reason. You're not leading in love. You're not leading in light. So sometimes we kind of have to read between the lines. I know we don't want to, but as a people, we have to just start being more in tune with the people that we are interacting with, whether it's online or in real life. That person who was putting those type of, comments out there, they are negative and they're angry. They're upset at something.
Okay, so we're saying the same thing then.
Yes.
We're saying the thing. And what do you say, Tina? What do you
Well, you can definitely see it in language. The way people write, the way people put things out there is definitely the way that they feel. Anybody, again, if you start talking about negative, what you don't like, what you don't want to do, this is not what I'm going to have. What you're doing is you've usually, like April says, somebody has had a bad experience and they're getting on here to let you know they are not coming here to have another bad experience. And so instead of opening the door to thinking that they could actually have a positive experience, they're using these words as a blocker per se, or as a deter for them to deter the person that they don't want in their life. So they think if they put what they don't want and what they're not going to do, that they're going to get the right person, not understanding that they're turning off people that might be actually interested in them. So you have to be careful with the words that you use and the way that you come off, because you know what? The way that you speak actually puts a picture of how people will start to see you before you can even get to talk to them.
It's a repellent.
Capital letters, guys. I've seen that on women's profiles. I don't know if men do it, but guys, if you're doing that, I would assume that's part of what she's saying. And do not do that in all capital letters. I don't do this. I don't like liars. If you're on and so forth. Like you'll see the women, no married men, no such and such.
No baby mamas, just all that, right.
And it's usually their experiences that they're putting in that list. Okay. Right. Instead of going to understand what they're actually looking for. I think if people start to understand what they're looking for before they get on the dating sites, then they'll be able to relate to people and be able to attract the type of people that they're looking for. Too many times we don't sit back enough to decide before we get out there what we're actually looking for. We don't do that pre-work that it takes to get out there to start dating, and we just jump in there and start putting our feelings on these profiles instead of actually thought out plans and positions or things that we need to actually attract what we're looking for.
Okay. So is that something that women speak about that come up on men's profiles, things like that? And here's the other thing, like I said, I'm getting this information. It's new to me. So, and I want to relate it to any brothers that I know that are on these sites and dating women, because we honestly don't know. We've talked amongst ourselves about the women, but we don't exchange. And I think women do a better job of exchanging information and be like, girl, look at my profile. What do you think? We don't do that. So this is our first time here. And that's why I think this information is helpful, So is there something that's a complete turnoff? I mean, obviously, people are going to put their best foot forward, right? That's what this thing is about. Like, I'm gonna put my best foot. So right, but in saying that, I'm there. I don't know, 5'9". They're gonna say they're 5'10", putting their best foot forward. Now, if I talk to her, this is a guy's mindset. If I talk to her for 2 weeks before the date, and she likes me, she's not going to care about an inch or two. You see what I'm saying? That's a guy's mindset, just to be honest. Now,
and the woman's mindset is that he lied. And he lied about something so small. What else is he lying about? What is the big lie that he's holding?
Okay.
So it's like it's the catch-22.
See, fellas, I'm trying to tell you, the little lie. If you lie about something little, then just imagine, if you show the your high school picture or a picture from 20 years ago and you're 50 and you ain't built like that no more, so on and so forth. So in dating and going through these profiles, now we're going down a little bit more. We talked about it's like activities, right? Now, is it healthy or could it help to put something in there we don't necessarily do, but we think it'll bring women in?
No, that's deceitful. Why even start out getting to know someone on with dishonesty? That's so deceitful. Just be what we need to do is be okay with wanting somebody to like us for who we truly are. In everything we are, in every essence that we have. If we're short, tall, big, small, work out, don't work out, you're looking to meet somebody who wants to get to know who you are at that moment, and not who you wish you could be, or who you might want to change it to being, or who you're considering being. No, you want the person to meet who you are authentically. And if you feel like you got to lie about that, then you don't need to be on the dating sites, because you're not confident in who you are, and you're going to wind up getting taken advantage of, or somebody's going to see that you're lying. They're going to see that you're not walking into confidence, and you will attract those type of people who will use you, right? So be okay with whoever you are, but just put your best foot forward. Putting your best foot forward does not mean you have to lie about anything. It just means I'm confident in who I'm bringing to the table. And if I'm not confident about who I'm bringing to the table, I don't need to bring it to the table. I need to get confident in whoever this is, whatever I am, whatever shortcomings I feel like I have, get those kinks worked out before I step up and be like, hey, this is me.
Exactly. And I like what you said. So let me add on to that. So ladies and men and everybody that's listening, right? I just want to make sure that whether you're online dating or offline dating, you get comfortable with accepting your flaws.
Yes.
Whatever flaws they are, whether it's physical, whether it's, internal, whatever it is, financial, whatever your flaws are, get comfortable and acknowledge them. Why? Because that means that the person that you bring into your life, or anybody that comes across your path, they cannot use that against you.
That's right.
Because you have already come to terms with that.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't have to hide. We don't have to lie. We don't have to. If this person is not for you, they're not for you. And that's okay, because you know who you are and whose you are. So remember that your flaws are okay. They're just flaws. Somebody's going to love you regardless, and give them the opportunity to.
I love
That's
that.
Good, April.
Is there any trigger words on a profile, a man's profile for women, that it's like, that's a no? Is there any trigger words or phrases that a man can put that automatically turn most women off? I'll start.
They're talking about exes. Like my last relationship ended 2 months ago, and she was crazy, and just because the ex is always crazy.
Yeah,
we can. That's in profile. That's in a profile.
Mm-hmm. They put that in profiles. The first conversation, they may say that,
I could see that, but I didn't think they put. Wow, that's deep. Okay. You, Tina, what do you say? Any trigger words or phrases that you see on a profile that a woman can see on a profile that's an automatically no go for most women?
I don't know exactly. I'm trying to think of ones that when I've looked at some, because I'm telling you, my trigger is really the word I'm not going to, I don't want to, I'm not having. Those are triggers for me. And whenever I see that, it's somebody that's, one, like you said, controlling, two, who's negative. They're not even bringing open minds to the table, and they are really not confident in themselves. And confidence is so big for me, because I need you to be able to talk to me without feeling, and I don't even want to say this because I know this is going to open another can of worms, without feeling intimidated. And I'm not, because when women of certain, I don't want no brag, this is not caliber or carry themselves a certain way or whatever, when we come in contact with certain men, they feel like that they have to check us and let us know, hey, you're not all that, or you're not doing this, or you're not coming with that. And it becomes like I don't know.
It comes like a pee-pee contest, right?
Yes,
yes. If we would have had one of those, basically,
yes,
like they're squaring off with you.
Why do you think that?
They're the alpha male.
Competitive.
Why do you think that is?
Competitive, right?
Why do you think that is?
Because they're insecure, which is why T. Marie said that, that confidence needs to be there. Because if your confidence is there, kind of like, what I said about the flaws, you don't care what somebody's bringing to the table. You don't care what they have. You don't care if they're rich. You don't care if they have more than you. You don't care, because you're fine with it. You're fine with who you are.
Is that him or her?
That's him. That's for him.
Because what I find is that's the first thing women bring up, is that he's insecure. And I hear that from women a lot. But then when you talk to the guys, it's like, nah, I don't care and she's trying to, like, it can come off to men sometimes like what impresses women, it feels like. What impresses women feel like it impresses men. And we're not impressed by the same things. So if you're impressed by a successful man, a rich man, and you're a rich woman, and you're going around and, well, I do this and that, it's not impressive to a man. It's not impressive to a real man. Because
it's not impressive, but let's be real, it is impressive because men absolutely love women who can handle their business. Love women who are maintaining themselves. They do love that. It's very impressive. But
I think it's cool, but it doesn't sway whether he wants to try to talk to you or not, is what I'm saying.
I disagree because if there was a woman who was, about her business, working, making money, versus a woman who was not about her business, making no money, staying home all day.
No, I mean, I get that to a certain degree, but it's not like, well, if you make 80,000 opposed to you make 150,000,
okay,
that doesn't care either way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I get it, and you want you to be able to take care of yourself. I'm glad with your degree is on the wall. All that's cool. But let's just say he wants to he'll hit the chick that work at the Publix or Walmart the same as he hit. It don't matter.
It doesn't matter, but here's the thing. Most of the time, not always, right? Most of the time, the person that is, working at Walmart or wherever, they have a lower standard. So it's going to be easier to get that low-hanging fruit for the man.
I mean, if that's what he's there for, then it's even better.
If that's what he's there for, but we're talking about serious online.
No, I got you. But what I'm saying is, in general, especially if you're in a situation where you're like, I want to, for the women that have the mindset, I want you to take care of me, and I want and I still want to work. Well, if you make this opposed to that, either way, you still want him to take care of him. So does it matter what you make if he's taking care of you? It don't matter at that point. It's not
monetary, no. Monetary wise, no.
Okay.
But my thought process, and a lot of the women who are aspiring and attaining those degrees and things like that, it takes a different type of mindset, a different type of woman to reach those type of standards, to reach those goals, to execute those goals. So that means she's thinking on a different level than the person who, you just mentioned. That means she could bring more to your particular family. You can build more. You can build faster with that woman if you're dating for a real serious love, as opposed to just hitting it. We're not talking about the people who are just here for the hit and quit.
Right. We're talking about more intentional people who are more intentional and that are trying to create life together. Okay. And we're hoping that that's what, and we know everybody on the dating sites aren't looking for that, but we're hoping that when two people are coming together, right, that they are looking for a person who's actually trying to do something or has the mindset to try to do something. So let me go back to kind of talk about
add value, right?
To add the value. So men are quick to
working at Walmart, by the way.
No. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
But we get on here and men are quick to say what they don't want in a woman. Woman don't have to, woman thinks she's this if she has a degree or has this money or whatever, and all these all those things, right? But in the same breath, we'll talk about what are they going to do? What are they bringing to the table? What's their hat? Why do they got to come in taken care of? You know what I'm saying? In the same breath. And so yes, it's so
but
big.
it's like, are you bringing peace? Are you bringing support? It's not. We're not talking about whatever your educational background. We're not. I mean, I would assume most men. We're not. That's not what we're talking about, though. We're talking about peace, support, understanding, patience, those things.
So if you meet me and you like me, and I've been working my 90,000 whatever amount of job, right? Mm-hmm. And peace is all you need. I can quit my job and take care of that house in the house.
No. It's not to that extreme. I'm saying it's nice that you do that, but that has no bearing on whether it doesn't have much bearing. I mean, obviously, I want a woman with ambition that has goals and doesn't want to stop if we get together and I'm rich and I want you to live out whatever your goals are, whatever you dreamt of as a little
Okay.
girl and you want to. I want you to do those things. But by all means, don't think that I'm only here for that. Or once you stop doing that or you lose that, I don't have the ability to do that, I'm going to be gone. That's what we get.
So
If
what
you
does
base
that
it
type
on
of
that,
man
that's
look
what we
like?
wind up getting.
So what does that type of man look like?
As far as
what's his character? What does
he's
that type of man
self-sufficient.
who's okay with that looks like?
He's self-sufficient. Like, it's great that you have that, but this man is, the word that you guys, excuse me, you women kept saying was confident. This is a confident man. You know, he walks with confidence. He speaks with confidence. He's sure about himself. Whether he's with you or without you, he's already on his mission. Now, you're added to, and that's great. But if you leave, I'm not stopping. I'm not that. I don't, you know, some guys need a cheerleader. What I'm saying is, it's great to have one. And if you're going to be, that's great. But whether you're there or not, I'm still on this path. There's guys that'll be on the path. As soon as a woman comes in, he's easily distracted. I'm not talking about that guy. We're talking about the confident guy. We're talking about, and believe it or not, and I know it's probably going to rub some people the wrong way, but I don't really care. But it's not always the alpha male. It's the sigma male, because the alpha needs people under them. They need to lead. A sigma doesn't need to lead. He's the lone wolf. He's doing it anyway, without a crowd, without an audience, without a following. He's doing it. Some people need people behind them to feel like they are someone. You know, and if you have that woman in your life, like I said, it's just an asset. But if she leaves, it really doesn't take anything away from what you're doing yourself. You're going to do it regardless. And there's some men that can't do it. They need the cheerleader on the side of the bench to keep them going. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that when we reverse the roles, I want you to have your thing. Like, whatever you dreamt of a little girl, don't get with a millionaire and put your feet up. Live out your dreams, whatever they are. You know, is that fair or is that not fair?
No, that's definitely fair. It's absolutely fair. But I want to talk about what Tony put in the chat. Tony said a guy will take a $40,000 chick over $100,000 chick all day. Do you agree?
Her attitude, and that's the thing. Like, if the 100,000, 120, 150, whatever it is, comes with the attitude, becomes with the nonchalantness, becomes with all that, then absolutely. And this is 9 times out of 10, that's who he's cheating with. If he's cheating, that's who he's cheating with. And you're like, she ain't got nothing on me. Oh yeah? Talk to her or find out what she's bringing to him, and you'll be surprised. You'll think she's beneath you, uneducated. All she did was barely graduated or got a GED, but it's something else. And I think we hear that and we block it out, and we don't try to understand why, man. We just say they do it, but you don't. Let's take the time and put that same energy in trying to understand why. That's a true statement, and it's hard to hear because it's like you want to be you're thinking you want to be impressed or being impressed by the same thing you're impressed by. We are not. We think it's cool, and it doesn't take anything away from you if you don't have it. But don't think that's a requirement to be. I would be more worried about that guy that super cares about that. I will be worried about him because he's there for something else.
Well, I think that's the thing, right? So what you just mentioned kind of alluded to the fact that we go to get these degrees or we go climb the ladder of success or do whatever it is to appease and please the men. And it's not that case. That's not the case at all.
I don't believe that's the case. I'm just saying when you come to us, it's cool, but don't think that's the catch. That's the hook.
Well, that's what I mean. It's not meant to be the catch or the hook for you. It's meant to be something that we aspire to do before you even came into the picture, before we even met you, right? And just to kind of like add on to what you mentioned, the $40,000 woman is going to require much. Let me not say that, right? But most of the time, people at a lower wage or lower education require much less than somebody that is making more money with higher education. They just do. They just do. They don't require you to live up to your potential, as T. Marie said, right? They don't require, we're not doing potential, right, T? But that person that's doing the 40,000, she may not require you to aspire to do more. She may just be fine with that, which means that reduces the pig on your back, or whatever you want to call it. That reduces, the arguing. That reduces, the bickering when you don't have that extra money, and just all those things. So that's what comes into play when you're dealing with high achieving women. We are trying to kind of lift you up as well as lift ourselves up at the same time. But we don't want to be the only person in the relationship growing and aspiring while you're staying stagnant. That's what the $100,000 woman is.
I definitely see some truth in that. But like I was saying earlier, that guy, if you really want that guy, you don't need to push him. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to need to push him. He knows. I mean, he's going to have a down day or a down season, and it's great that you're going to be there. But that guy that you want, that's going to be that ambitious guy that goes after this and grab these rings.
Well, that's what he said when I met him online. But it's a year, 2 years later, and guess what? It's no motion.
And that's why you got to stop messing with guys working on their mixtape, because that ain't never going. I'm only playing. I'm just playing. No, but I at the end of the day, like I said, I get it. I just want to get back to the profile thing, but I respect it though. I really do. And I encourage any woman, like any woman, to like whatever you do, like you could be in a comfortable position, but I'm sure as a young lady you had dreams and aspirations, and no matter who you meet, keep doing those things, man, and that saves some of yourself, because there's a lot of people that get lost in a marriage and look in the mirror and don't even recognize themselves because they stop doing them. So don't ever, and that's to anybody, don't ever stop doing you, and no matter what relationship you are, as far as the things that you want to do in life. But to get back to the profile, so we're getting down to, so you guys said it wasn't really, Tina, you just say you didn't have many trigger words, right?
My trick words are don't. When somebody's telling me what they're not going to do, what they're, again, you're coming to the table telling me what you're not going to do, what you're not looking for. Those are my trigger words, because you're not opening up and giving me information about what you actually do want. You're making me guess about those things. And I'm a very direct person, and most women are very direct. We want honesty. We want to be clear about what we're getting into. So you telling me what you don't do is not telling me what you actually are looking for. And I'd rather you talk and open up with, this is what I am and this is what I'm looking for. So when you lead with those type of words, yeah, that's a turn off for me. Okay,
cool. That's fair. That's fair. So would you recommend the guys if like just do their profile and throw it up, or run it by somebody? If a woman, preferably, run it by your homegirl, cousin, whatever the aunt is. Would you recommend that for more? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of us are lost. We don't know. Some guys are real crafty with words and so on and so forth. But because the guy is not, I don't want him to be like, these are for the guys who are great guys, but they're not crafty with words. So it could come across like he's not a good guy, and you could be missing out on someone. Because I know a lot of women like to play the grammar police.
Yes, we do.
If he didn't put this or comma or that, he'd be like, yo, that don't mean so.
I hate letters that are supposed to be capitalized and they are not capitalized. Do not write a lowercase I when it should be a capital. And not
this is the petty shit.
There, and there. No, we got to make sure you spell the correct there. We have to make sure
I do have a pet peeve. I personally do have a pet peeve with that. I get that one. But some of the other stuff is petty shit. You're missing out on good men because of slight grammar. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, we want somebody that can read, and
we didn't say he couldn't read. He just didn't. Right.
I do think it's a good idea if you're dating seriously that you run your profile by someone, especially for men, because men, like you just said, they don't really they're not communicators like we actually are, like most women are, unless that's something that they do in business, right? And so it's important that, you know, if you want your profile to be, if you're serious about your profile and you're online dating and you're serious about online dating, of course, run it by someone, run it by a good girlfriend, and run it by your homeboy, right? Let them both
Don't run it
see.
by your homeboy. Don't run it by your homeboy. Don't do that. He's doing the same thing.
No, you should have a homeboy who should be intelligent and be able to help you
unless
with
he's
something.
into poetry. Unless he's into poetry and stuff, do not run it by this nigga. Trust me.
I think you should run it by both. You definitely should run it by a woman, but run it by your homeboy, because your homeboy knows you too. He's gonna be like, man, are you serious? I just think that it's a good idea. I mean, you don't have to take both of their advice, but I just think it's a good idea to run it by somebody that's close to you, you know, and see, for a woman, would she be attracted to this? And, you know, as your guy, like, do you see, is this me? And I don't mean just any guy, but like somebody you know that you take, that's your counsel, somebody that you actually, you know, look up to, or somebody that you can see the best in you. Not just any dude, but somebody who actually is looking at you and be like, yeah, I can see that actually represents you. That's a good look for you.
I could tell you amongst men, even amongst women, because I've seen women lie on resumes. I had a woman lie on a resume for me. So amongst men, I think dudes are going to say what they think women want to hear. That's why I personally would never run it by a dude. I would run it by a woman, because
well, if you don't want to do that, use technology. Technology is your friend. Just pop those couple of sentences into Chat GPT. You can ask Chat GPT to analyze it. You know,
right.
Make it work in your favor. Tell them tell Chat GPT to modernize it. Tell Chat GPT to put it in your tone. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and just make sure you put your own spin on it. If
now,
you don't want to share it with your homeboys.
I like that. So let me ask you this. In the process, let's say you get past this first stage, right?
Yes.
You're going back and forth. How long do you ask to exchange numbers? For, you know, if you're a woman, how long are you expecting? Is that based on, you know, what do women want to hear? Do you base it on the vibe? Do you base it on the conversation? Do you base it on how attractive he is? Do you base it on how long you guys been chatting without actually talking? How long should a guy wait?
Sure. Well, I'll say you definitely want to base it off of a vibe, right? Because we want to use our gut feelings. We want to use, you know, all the tools that we have, our innate skills. We want to use all of those things, right? So it's going to be a few things. It's going to be based off of your gut. It's going to be based off the time frame. Me particularly, if you're on that website dating for serious, you know, relationships, I wouldn't go past 7 days before you get an actual phone number, because the goal is to take it offline. But here's the thing, ladies and gents, when we are dating safe. So make sure you use a third-party phone number. Maybe you use a Google phone number. Don't give them your phone number, right? Because again, they could do reverse phone lookup and things like that. So you want to make sure you give them a number that you feel confident that they're not going to be able to trace it back to you, just so that you can actually get to know them better offline.
Yeah. I'm a little earlier than the 7 days, but I can get what you mean by the 7 days. I'm a little quicker than that. I'm like, if we're talking, say, I need to hear your voice. A voice is a connector. Again, you know, we can vibe through the chat and text through the chat, but actually when you get to talk to someone, you actually can hear, there's definitely a different connection when you're actually speaking to someone. That's why when you're talking to people on the phone, you grow closer to them. And so I'm a little quicker than the 7 days. If we're talking, you want to know me, when I'm still texting to you that long for? Come on, third day. You know, okay, we don't text consistently for 2 days. Why are we not talking yet? You know what I'm saying? So I'm a believer in definitely within 2 or 3 days. But I'm definitely with you, April, when you say give that an alternative number or a different number or a safer number, because they can do reverse. If you're not really sure yet, absolutely. Even if you want to do some type of Facebook chat, or on the, you know, how you're able to use those. You can use that. So use those Facebook phone calls first, or whatever it is. But definitely, I just think 3 days and we're not talking, I'm on to the next. To be honest, I'm on to the
next. That's fair. That's fair. I'm personally against, if I call and I hear such and such waiting to connect to, I'm like, nah, get your scary ass. You ain't ready to date. Because if you met me in the grocery store, you're going, I'm cool on it. Me personally. When I see that, I just be like, yo, you a little too scary. Look, because you can always block me. Like, ain't nobody tripping on that. Like, relax. But I get it, but just from a man's standpoint, it's man, it's like, wow, really? And
well, you know, a lot of the dating sites have where you can talk via
no.
first.
They actually do. It feels a little silly. But I think you build it up to the talk. I would go on a vibe to the fellas and tell you go on the vibe, and I'm gonna give y'all one. Y'all can use this line. I've used this before. Feel free to use it. You're talking and you're going back and forth and be like, hey, I'm not much of a typer. I'm more of a talker. Plus, I would love to match a name with a pretty face.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say that, you say pretty face, kind of real in the minute. They like that.
We love a good compliment. Okay.
They like that. And it usually works. So I'm just giving that for free. That usually works. Feel free to use that. But
I like that one.
And my thing is, so once you do that, even then, what I don't like is now we're still texting. I'm like, we could have did this on the joint, on the site.
On the dating app, right.
Yeah, like, because I believe in tones and inflections of voice, because things can change from chatting there to the energy talking to the date. All three can be totally different.
Right.
So you want to get to it before you start investing a lot of time in the chatting throughout the day, you know, that kind of thing. So you feel it, whatever, use your discretion, whatever you feel, put the fillers out there to see what she does, and just kind of, because some women on their profile will tell you, don't rush, you know, because some dudes want to get to it immediately, and I don't really recommend that. Just kind of feel them out. Give them time to say something stupid. Because if they're used to saying something stupid, they will. But back to the women, back to the men and women looking on the men's page. So now we're actually conversing, going back and forth, and I've heard from several women, guys being a little bit too forward. And what I mean by that is, and this is crazy. This is crazy. And enough women told me that I know it's a real thing. Guys with, you know, a lot of times we as men want to see photos of the women. Again, a different photo that's not on the site, right? Maybe you want to see something less, you know, and it doesn't have to be necessarily be
Explicit, right?
Yeah, or it doesn't have to be right then and there, but something else in your album or your photo roll, I can see another angle, because women are very good between hair, makeup, angles, and filters. A brother could get easily tricked. Women only complain about a hat. If we stand in front of a nightclub and they say no hat and no makeup, I'm gonna run and put my hat in the car. What's she gonna do? She ain't going in. So I think it's a little bit different, you know, but the women like what they like, and what they see is what they see, and I get it. I respect it. But I'm just saying, as far as guys don't want to see that, but I'm hearing over the years that guys are sending, I don't want YouTube to cut me off, but other kind of pics of their members on, and that's a real thing. And I heard it from enough women to know that that's true. So yeah. I would recommend to the brothers out there, please don't do that.
Yes. So the overly sexual or aggressive messaging, do not. So like leading with sexual comments, and like you said, we don't want to be cut off by YouTube, but leading with sexual comments, being pushy about meeting up, that can definitely be a turn off, can drive people away. It's also important to just be respectful of the person that you're speaking with, the person who you're talking to, the person who you want to get to know a little better, and just have those conversations first. Have a conversation first. No pics being sent. Don't even ask for additional pics.
Please
do not ask for additional pics. Don't be too eager. Don't send too many messages too quickly. those rapid fire messaging, you know, it can kind of come off like creepy and definitely overwhelming. You just, you know, added this person as your profile and it's ping, 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 ping. It's like, wait a minute, what does this guy want? You know, maybe even talking too long or texting too long. You know, it's just a lot of different things. But the best advice that I can give is forget all the rules. Forget all the rules. If you're dating for love, if you're dating with intent, go with the flow.
That part.
Go with the flow. Use your better judgment, of course, but go with the flow. In today's world of online podcasts, today's world of so many experts and coaches, you have one person saying this, one person saying that. It can be confusing. I want to make sure that you actually reach your relationship goals with precision, okay? With precision. Make sure that you are doing what feels good for you. If it aligns with you and aligns with your goals, it's okay. Give it a shot. Try it, you know. Be cautious though, and don't get burned again. But just make sure you are not letting what other people say take over your decision for meeting or getting with somebody.
I like that. That's super. I like that advice. Any advice from you, team?
People need to learn how to vet. I don't think we're doing a very good job at vetting because we're too ready or we're too eager. I think I definitely agree with you, April. Go with the flow, but know when you're going with the flow, know what that looks like. Don't ignore red flags. Don't ignore red flags, and don't be scary at green flags. Like sometimes things could be going so well, and you're like, oh, you create a red flag where there actually is not a red flag, and so because you've already put up these walls of antenna or you anticipated something going wrong, I think you need to be open to the idea of when you're getting outside dating, because so many people have told you that the pool was so pissy that you think the pool that you're automatically going into is going to be pissy too. Trust your judgment. Understand understand how to vet and trust your judgment. Okay. When you see something that's good, accept it as good. Okay. And when you see something that's bad, see it. You can move with caution, but please see it. Make note, take note, but don't throw everything away because you just don't know. But going with the flow, I absolutely agree with that. That does not mean that you're just going all over the place. It just means you're allowing yourself to get to know the person without having all these rules that we create, walls that you put up, and anxiety that you're not going to get what you're looking for because of all the bad things that you've seen, all the podcasts, all the social media posts. Just open yourself to believing that there is good men outside, there's good women outside, there's love to be found, and that you deserve it, and you will attract those things.
That's right. That's right, T. I love that. Yeah.
So just for the guys, give us some pointers. Can you help us with some just a few tools to vent? Like, what is a venting process like to help? Because I think that's where some of us, I'm pretty sure women get stuck there too. Something to vent out without sounding like a checklist, like at an interview. What is something you can use to vent?
So venting is not venting is a checklist in your mind, but it's not an outward thing that you do. You pay attention, you understand what it is that you're looking for. Again, it always starts with you, what you're looking for, what your needs are, and what's best, what's best, the type of person that's best for you. So there is a checklist in your mind. Doesn't mean it has to come out as a checklist out of your mouth. Okay. So when you're vetting someone and you're looking for something, let's just say, let's just say you don't want people with children, and this is a little stiff. Okay, maybe I'm being a little stiff, or you don't like a smoker, or whatever, or you don't like a person that's always in the club. Put that in your mind. If they're like they want to take you out to the club, or they like cigar lounges, or whatever those things are, and those are being a little vague or whatever. But whatever those things are, keep them in your mind. So when you're talking to the person and getting to know the person, when they're showing you that those are the things that you're like, yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I'm looking for. Even character-wise.
Because this is the part. Me and Crystal had conversations about this. Do you tell them? Do you ghost them? How do you handle that, knowing, okay, they're still communicating online, or maybe you got to the phone portion of it and you be like, you know what, too many red flags, it's not for me, and you just end it. How do you go about ending it respectfully? Because this is a big dilemma. I think with our audience, we were split. Some people like, well, look, I'll ghost them. Some people like, nah, that's disrespectful. So you get to the point of, it's not for me. How do you ladies handle it? Oh, how should a man? Because this is about the men. I want to keep that in focus. I don't want to be on the women. This is about the men learning and what we're doing wrong. So you ladies, tell us how a man should approach that.
Sure. Well, the first thing you want to do is just have your template ready. I say a template, right? Because if you're online dating, chances are you're going to be sending this out to a few people.
Right.
The first thing you want to do is speak with kindness, right? Lead with kindness. So you can say something like, it's been a nice couple of months or a few weeks getting to know you, and reference their name. Definitely put their name in it. Do not put honey, baby, sweetie. Reference their name. It's been a nice couple of weeks getting to know you. I really enjoyed myself. However, I've decided to go, the same way they would do on the job application. When you get the job. Something nice.
I decided to go in a different direction.
I found somebody else, whatever you want to say, but just something short and
it's
sweet.
Not for me.
No explanation, right? But I don't think we're aligned, or just something like that. Something nice. Reference their name and then move on. And that way, nobody has to be ghosted. The woman is not left feeling like she did something wrong. She's not left feeling as though she's not good enough. All those things. So we want to be kind to people. And I know this is about the men, but ladies, it's okay for you to use that template also.
That's funny. I like that, having a template ready for it, so you can send out. But I definitely believe in leading with kindness. I always say that you lead with kindness, because what people have to understand is you're not everybody's fit, right? And it's not always going to work out with everybody that you meet. And so telling them like, hey, this was amazing, getting to know you, it was cool, I had a good time. I just think that right now, this, not even right now, that's the wrong word. This is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something a little different. And I really appreciate the time that we spent, and good luck on and literally good luck on finding your mate.
Yeah. Just good luck on finding your mate. I'm not interested in pursuing this any further. Just,
I've done something similar to that. And man, it did not go well.
You got in trouble?
It just came back. You didn't give me a chance, give us a chance, and
don't feel like you have to entertain the rebuttal. Do not feel like you have to entertain the rebuttal, because you do not. Once you've said what you've said and they come back with the rebuttal, you can say, I'm sorry you feel that way, but this is just what it is. Thank you. And that's it. Do not guilt yourself or feel like that's you, because they don't understand or they don't accept that you're wanting to move on, that you have to entertain the rebuttal, because you do not.
Yeah, that's why I started ghosting, because I was like, they don't accept it.
That's why most people ghost, because they don't want to deal with having to deal with being honest about,
it's the rebuttal. I don't mind saying it. The rebuttal. Now you're trying to convince me. You think that's going to make it better? That never works.
And then I was a back and forth, and it's negativity and just all this like. And you're like, wow, by the time you finish, you're like, I'm glad I dodged that bullet.
That's been my whole story. I'm telling too much information. But
welcome to the dating world.
I get it. No, but that's fair. I think like you said, kindness, starting off, and you want to be respectful to everyone. Everybody put time into it, or whatever the situation may be. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times people know, like, when there's a connection, it has to connect on both ends. It just can't be your win. If you're feeling the energy of the person is not being, it's just like, fellas, when you're out and say you wind up going to a bar, see some beautiful women, you start talking to one and she's being short with you. You know that energy. Leave her alone. You don't have to say nothing nasty, just and turn your back and keep it moving. But you keep pressing it, the energy. And trying to convince her to something she's being short at never works. never works. So it's the same thing. Like, you feel people's energy, and if they're telling you that, I mean, that's more obvious than anything. So just respect it. You know, no need to go back and forth with anybody. It doesn't even mean that you can't be cool. You know, bump into them somewhere. I'm not saying jump up and be friends. I'm just saying there's no need to create an enemy neither. You know,
It's true, definitely.
Is that fair? And that's all and that's all I would tell anybody. Or that's the thing I try to push, is just to be fair to people. That's why we're having this segment to ladies, because we want to be fair to the women too, as far as what they see on profiles and don't like. You know, because obviously if we're men looking for women, we want to put our best foot forward, or at least know what women that are not for us and kind of keep it moving. You don't want to waste anyone's time, and certainly you don't want your time wasted. You know, that kind of thing. So let me say this real quick. Christal is under the weather. You know, I received the message. She's not feeling too well. You know, wish her the best. She's going to be all right, but definitely wish her the best. But also, I want to thank you ladies. Thank you. Thank you for coming in there. I wish we could have read some actual profiles. Maybe we could come back and do another one, because I think that would have been fun. So you could really pick out, because I'm pretty sure some guys are saying some wild stuff that I'd be like, yo, this is crazy. Or I might think it's cool, but you coming from a woman's perspective would think, why would he even put that? You know? So we're learning, and that's what I want people to get from this. We're learning on both sides. I hope the women, instead of being defensive when the men spoke last Wednesday, kind of learn and hear what they're saying. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of them dudes was a little petty. But in general, men do have likes and dislikes, just like you women do. And I think it's healthy for us to hear both sides, men and women. So if you ladies can please do me a favor, give out your social media handles so everyone can know and reach out to you and follow you on your the different social medias that you're on. You got to start first, Tina.
Well, you can find me on my Instagram, which is Katrina T. Marie. I am a dating coach. I'm a relationship advocate. So I advocate for relationships and how to maintain relationships. My biggest thing is teaching people how to date, because we have forgotten how to date, the art of dating, and how to maneuver around getting around some of these bad apples, ideas, and things that social media has put outside. My whole thing is everything starts with you. You are the common denominator in every relationship that you've been in. And so let's go back and look at the things that you may need to work on, some accountability pieces, some things that you need to change, the way you need to see love and see yourself in these positions to get love, so we can do the work to get you the love that you're looking for. You can actually follow me on Katrina Marie. Like I said, on Instagram, Katrina T. Marie on Facebook, and KatrinaMarie.net on my social media. And you also have a magazine called Love and Lifestyle Magazine, which advocates, talks about, and puts out all the expressions of love, whether it's relational, whether it's friendship, whether it's within your careers, with whatever it is. We talk about different ways and different avenues, the way love affects people and the way we do things in life and how it actually affects our lifestyle. You can find that on loveandlifestylemag.com.
Love it.
All right. What's up? Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I had so much fun.
I love this.
My name is April A. Carter. I'm a certified expert relationship coach. You can follow me on Instagram at The Relationship Lady. That's THEE Relationship Lady. All other outlets is just The Relationship Lady. THE Relationship Lady. Just straightforward. But in the meantime, you guys can grab some amazing tools from my website. Go to april-a-carter.com. And what I do, guys, I help single women age 40 plus have amazing relationships after years of being on the relationship roller coaster. So if you've been single for over 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 10 years or more, and you just don't know what you need to do, how you can date a little bit better, how you can reach your relationship results, I am the woman that you can come and see. I'm all about nurturing relationships realistically, helping you authenticate relationships. And I love just empowering women. And then, of course, that trickles down to the community as a whole. So thank you so much for having me. I want you guys to go over to WHERE.SoLongSingle.com to grab your guide. You guys can find out exactly where your ideal matches are. You can get offline and date in real life, right? So go to where.solongsingle.com to get your love life started. We got the tools for you guys. You don't have to be single anymore if you don't want to.
If you don't want to.
Go. I love it. I love it. And I'm gonna make sure Crystal puts the links and the social media information, everything, the websites in the description. Once we click on it, she'll go back and put everything up. But I want to thank y'all. This was fun. We definitely got to do it again. I think you ladies have some great insight, and I'm learning. I'm a single man out here trying to figure it out or whatever. So I'm learning. And I hope that a lot of the brothers out there got some helpful information out there, the do's and don'ts. And just listen. These are ladies saying what they, what they see. I really think it's helpful that, because we don't get this information. Like, we don't talk to each other. So to us, this is all in our mind. You know what I'm saying? We don't see other guys' pages or whatever, so we don't know. We're just putting stuff out there, and when we hear it back, we're like, oh, y'all like that, or y'all don't like this, so on and so forth. So I think it's super, super helpful to know that. And for everyone, like I said, Crystal is a little under the weather, but she will be back. We're here Friday. We're doing, what are we doing? Ready for Love, not Ready for Love, pardon me. Love and Marriage Huntsville will be back 10 o'clock for the recap this Friday. Want everybody to come. So watch the show at 8. Obviously, we're going to talk about it at 10. And we're going to have a lot of fun. This one should be interesting because I did see a clip, and it's got kind of messy. I ain't going to hold you. It got kind of, and if you didn't see the show Saturday, then you'll be able to watch the rerun on, actually it's 9 o'clock, not 8 o'clock. So it's 9 o'clock. So watch the show Love and Marriage Huntsville at 9. Then we're going to recap it at 10 o'clock. Other than that, like I said, once again, thank you, ladies. We got to do this again soon. I like this.
Definitely.
Thank you for having me. Nice
Bye.
to meet you.
All right, Scorpio.
Bye.
Bye. See you soon.
All right, y'all.
Bye. That was fun. I need your contact information.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
got your Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow you right now, and then I'll send you. I'm gonna slide up in your DM.
Yeah, hit me in my DM, girl.
Okay, girl.
We all live. Look, we still live. But
Uh-oh. Hey, good night.
Bye. Not be live.
Okay.
Hit me in my DM, and then we'll finish talking.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.